Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I'm going to continue here just for a second because I feel salty about the fact that I recorded like 10 minutes of an episode. We're on Basement 1 here with freaking Pyro, and I got 22 cents from the secret room. And then I realized that XSplit for some reason was just stuck on the title screen, but we'll start a new run. I also randomed Isaac, so kiss our 2-streak goodbye, I guess, but it's not really that relevant. And instead, we're going to be playing as Samson. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I was enjoying that run. This is the first time in the course of 300 or so episodes that XSplit has ever done that. I'm a little salty about it. Actually, you know what? I'm not that salty about it. K7DWCX0T. Because at the start of it, Nick sent me a message on Skype. It wasn't even Mathis. It wasn't from a place of malice. But I was still a little bit perturbed about it. I was like, Nick, you should apply for PAX East media registration, because, you know, you can get a media badge for it, and the registration deadline is tomorrow. Motherfucker doesn't respond to me for like 2 hours. 30 seconds into the recording of an Isaac episode, he decides now's the time to say thanks. Thanks. Wow, what an asshole. Trying to, you know, make me feel appreciated. I don't need that shit. You think I'm a baby? I'm not a baby. Alright, little chubby. He's okay. Admittedly, my Samson play as of late has maybe not been super fantastic, but I think there is a... I don't want to say objective, but I think there's a really good, repeatable strategy that gives you a good chance to succeed as Samson. Wow, that's a pretty lucky get from our first curse room as well, assuming I don't die later. On this floor, at least, as a result of taking this damage. Our damage is going to be buffed a little bit from taking that damage anyway, but, and that strategy is basically, as early as possible, get 5 cents, spawn an arcade, spam the shit out of the blood bank, and hopefully get an IV bag, and the IV bag is, honestly, depending on the HP stat, I'm going to try this. I'm okay with it. The bomb could be used to get a Spirit Heart, which could, give me a good deal with the Devil Chance, or it could give me a small rock, or it could give me more bombs and keys, so... I think, you know, a bomb for a key is not necessarily a terrible trade. If I was braver, I could have tried to kick that bomb over into this Tinted Rock, but that's okay. We'll save that Spirit Heart for when we go down to the next floor, just in case we fight a boss that I'm going to take some damage against here. Anyway, it was a good decision. Anyway, the IV bag, if you have a decent amount of red hearts, can honestly be an A or S tier item. Can't believe we found a gap in the creep there. It can be an A or S tier item as Samson. It can be an item that you can take to the chest and feel good about, and it'll help you out enough to give you a win, honestly. That was bad damage. That was worse damage, but we're gonna win regardless. And pick up Synth Oil. A little bit concerned about our HP, but the Spirit Heart should help out. Our damage is gonna be a little bit worse on the next floor immediately as a result of the fact that we don't have any bonus buffs from Bloody Lust, but that's okay. We got Synth Oil to up our base damage a little bit, and let's hope we're not dealing with terrible curses and a... Well, I mean, it's not necessarily a terrible curse, I guess. Curse of Darkness is just superficial. Once you get to the point where the gamma's cranked up, we're not going to have a chance to spawn an arcade here. Could get a lucky blood bank, but let's just assume that that's probably not going to happen. Now we need a key. Or, yeah, 2 bombs is probably something that could be doable as well. Now, as much as I might complain about the fact that, you know, we're lacking a consumable here that would allow us to access that item room, we actually are very much ahead of the curve with a damage upgrade from our first boss, as well as... Can I, like, sneak this in here? Yeah. A damage upgrade from the first boss, as well as a free Guppy item from our first curse room. So, this puts us way ahead of the curve on becoming Guppy, which is something that I don't think... maybe I've done it once since I've been back, so... It's been a little rarer than average, I would say. I would like to get it done. It's a shortcut for success, that's for sure. Good. There's a key for us. Yeah, this deal with the devil could go a long way for that as well. If I get an HP upgrade and then a 1-heart Guppy item, beautiful. That's I didn't pick that because it's the ideal outcome. Obviously, the ideal outcome would be like Mom's Knife or something like that. But considering we have no choice over it, I just chose a realistic outcome. Let's hope it happens. Or something better happens, which, you know, can happen as well. That's bad. Yep, okay, so our Spirit Heart is gone. But there is another Tinted Rock right here. Paid out with a golden chest. That's... Well, I guess that's not Guppy's tail in action. Because golden chests... Or, sorry, Tinted Rocks have a tendency to pay out with golden chests anyway. And there's a random Spirit Heart that I would not have expected and consider myself extremely lucky to have gotten. Alright, Spider. We're gonna do this shit I'm always frustrated with this room. But I guess a little chubby helps out a lot. It's like having one really high damage piercing shot, which is extremely important. It really can tip the balance in your favor. There's another tinted rock plus a key here. We're going to need a bomb to access it, obviously, but it really can tip the balance when you're fighting generators. You know, those enemies that spawn other enemies? Probably spawners is a better word for them than generators, but you get the idea. No matter who we're fighting here, and you know what boss I'm probably talking about when I mention something like that, we are not going to take enough damage to lose all of our spirit hearts and compromise our deal with the devil chance. So that is excellent. What the heck, dog? That was the greatest locomotion of all time. I'm amazed that I got out of that without taking damage. Blighted Ovum almost completely fucked me there. Look, I've started to rethink how much I care about a deal with the devil precedent, but I do think Headless Baby is actually just an okay item in and of itself. We're going to go to our curse room, even though it will cost us one of our spirit hearts. So, I'm very happy we got Torn Photo. It's better than an HP upgrade, unless you're in a, you know, very fringe situation where an HP upgrade is something you need to survive or something like that. But, our HP is not going to be fantastic as a result of that when we head down to the next floor, and that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same, you know? Good. We basically earned an extra spirit heart by doing that. And again, our damage is going to be... I'm content with this kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back thing we're doing. Our damage is going to be immediately worse on the next floor. However, our base damage is going to be higher, so we're going to have a greater, or an easier time, I should say, getting to more damage, hopefully, in the future. For now, though, Headless Baby, it's okay. It's certainly, I'd prefer Headless Baby over something like Brother Bobby or Ghost Baby if I'm going to be sacrificing HP to maintain some kind of deal with the devil precedent. A couple of people, this is one of the things the jury is still out on, I think. How important is deal with the devil precedent? A couple of people have contacted me on Twitter, or they've made Reddit posts, and they're like, here is my thoughts on it. Ooh, possibly good in the future. Here's my thoughts on it. And usually the case that they seem to take, if they're contacting me, is that devil rooms are better, but they're not so much better that it's worth picking up a good item to ruin angel precedent, if that makes sense. And the case for that is usually, yes, there's more good items in the deal with the devil rooms, but there's also more bad items in the deal with the devil rooms. But I still kind of disagree. Because for me, like, the deals with the devil are about picking up either aggregate items that make it so your run is cumulative, not to be like, whoa, look at the fancy language here, but basically picking up like a combination of items that make it so a win is conceivable. It's another decent curse room for us at least, which also gives us a temporary damage buff due to the damage we took without losing HP, so it's a win-win, but I would love a guppy item as well. Anyway, let's put it this way to make it short. A win via a deal with devil or angel happens in one of 2 ways. You either get a game-breaking item, or you get a combination of good items. On a deal with the angel, what are game-breaking items? You'd probably consider Sacred Heart. You'd probably consider... I think I got hit by a bullet there, so I'd take a little bit less embarrassment for that. I shouldn't have been hit, but anyway. Godhead, Sacred Heart are probably the only 2 items that I can think of on a deal with the angel that really just kind of... They don't even win the game for you outright, but they come as close as anything else does. What are the game-breaking items on a deal with the devil? Mom's Knife, Brimstone. You could maybe make an argument for something like Abaddon. You could make an argument for something like Death's Touch, although I think they're in like a tier slightly below the Mom's Knife, Brimstone tier. But anyway, plus the Guppy synergies and stuff like that. So there's more like immediate game-breaking items, and in terms of good items even, yes, there's like... Dead Dove and Holy Grail and, you know, the Halo and stuff like that. I think we'll take Explosive Diarrhea into our boss fight. But, I really feel like there's more good items on deals with the devil as well. A lot of the like, quote-unquote, like, tier lists I've seen of items that are like, see, deal with the devil's not that good compared to deal with the angel. They have the Guppy items placed in, like, I'll take this. I know. Our rate of fire increased, I think, there. Our HP increased. Yeah, okay, so this is good. Let's take Dark Bum, and let's also take Satanic Bible. I think that's an okay decision here. It only cost us exactly what Satanic Bible would have cost us anyway, so we basically picked up a free Dark Bum in the process. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting kind of up my own asshole here with the discussion of the deals with the devil and deals with the angel. You might be right that it's not worth picking up, like, Ghost Baby to get deal with the devil precedent over deal with the angel precedent. But I do think deal with the devil precedent is extremely important. Our secret room is not going to border our item room on that side, but we might get lucky and have it... Yeah, I think this has to be the secret room, which would be a really good break for me. The one thing that this run is short on right now is... Never mind. I was going to say it's keys, but that helps out a lot for the next floor. I still would have done the same deal with the devil even with the game kid, so I don't consider this to be that big of a deal. And you know what? I know there's golden chests, but I think I'm just going to save our keys. And we're going to head down to the next floor. Yes. Although, could there be... I'm going to try for like a second secret room right here. Oh, lucky us. And we get Samson's Lock, which I don't really... If I'm going to be honest here, I don't really know what Samson's Lock does. If it gives you the same rage impact that Bloody Lust does, hopefully it synergizes well with Bloody Lust itself, and it's not just like completely compromised by that. If it, what would be ideal maybe is if it gives us the same effect that Rage gave us in Vanilla, so we could have both of the Rage effects, you know, old and new. Anyway, conga line enemies are probably some of the ideal enemies for us to fight when we have Headless Baby, as long as we're being relatively smart about the way that we're choosing to move through the world. Oh, crap. Yep. Yeah, that was bad. I didn't take damage, but I missed some opportunities to kill some enemies that I should not have missed opportunities to kill. That's alright. Looks like this is going to go pretty well. Tricky thing here is you want to stand away from the mushrooms, just in case they do release their, you know, toxic spores. That's probably the nerdiest sentence I've ever said in my whole life. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just going to own it. Or rent it, at the very least. And, like, this run is shaping up pretty nicely so far. We're in a position... I gotta save keys for now. Hopefully we get more in the future. If we bought something from the shop, like Mom's Key, which we have not had in a little while, actually, then I would be totally open to opening as many golden chests as we can. But for now, with only 2 keys, I don't want to put ourselves too far, you know, behind the 8 ball here. Anyway, it's a great run. It's a little bit different than the run that I was originally suggesting, which would be like high-end Red Hearts, get IV bag. Instead, we're... You know what, with our 3rd key, we'll open this golden chest. Instead, we're going to be hopefully high in special hearts. Wow, we got 1 cent for all of our work there. Yeah, we're high in spirit hearts and doing relatively well on damage, but we can't really exploit Bloody Lust. Now, we're, I guess, kind of privileged enough to be in a position where we don't need to exploit Bloody Lust because we're getting damage upgrades from every single boss fight that we've had thus far, including experimental treatment, which didn't have to work out that way. And I'm not 100% sure that we did get a damage upgrade from that, but I think we got a DPS upgrade at least. Yeah, absolutely. I will fight in a boss trap room for the privilege of having more keys. I should not have stood there. Little risky. And we're actually doing like a pretty good amount of damage against Mega Fatty, to be honest with you, and that's, as I always say, that's a pretty good indication that you're doing alright from a damage perspective. After Mega Fatty, we are going to be fighting Mega Ma. This is our Mega Boss room. And it should be relatively easy as well. Especially dealing with hoppers instead of leapers. And especially because he didn't actually spawn in the center of the room. He spawned, you know, slightly askew, which gives us... Yeah, we'll open it. It's alright. We broke even. It gives us a easy opportunity to just stay out of the way. I am intending, by the way, on going to that shop. We just need to find ourselves a little bit more money to make sure that it's worthwhile. Now, just because there's an arcade here, that doesn't mean, you know, I fucked up. It doesn't mean, like, all is lost because I don't have any red hearts. Speaking of which, I forgot. We have Dark Bum. I'm guilty of this a lot, actually. Dark Bum, you come get that. But yeah, we could still get an HP upgrade or an all-stats upgrade from the boss or elsewhere, and then come back to that blood bank, play the crap out of it. I don't really want IV bag anymore. I think Satanic Bible is an item that we can totally use long-term in the game. And I say think, even though the truth of it is I know that it's an item we can use long-term in the game because I've done so on numerous occasions before. But anyway, We can still get the benefit of getting a little extra money, which would give us enough money to go to our shop and buy an item, assuming there's no greed. And you know the flowchart, I guess, at this point. Actually, Book of Shadows, I don't think it's better than Satanic Bible, but it is a little bit more immediately useful on this arcade, so we should be able to pick up enough money to make our shop worthwhile. And again, we found some seams on this floor, and we're starting to pull on them, which I think is good for us. Now, we won't get the damage bonus from playing Blood Bank, but we also won't lose the Spirit Hearts, which is pretty nice as well. We only got 2 cents out of it, and we got IV Bag. Kind of unfortunate. Although, you know, for 5 cents we could buy a battery, get another Book of Shadows charge, and play the crap out of the Blood Bank and probably get, not a battery, but a charge, you know what I mean. And probably do better as a result of that. But we're going to be fighting greed instead, and, you know, that might seem like it's, oh no, my plans have fallen apart here, but rather, you know, I would have been doing that IV Bag exploitation to gain money anyway, so just getting money for fighting a boss is kind of better. Would have been nicer to have Satanic Bible in here so we could actually benefit from having the charge instead of just immediately throwing the item away, but hey, that's okay. So now that we've sorted out a lot of the kind of unknowns of this floor, all that's left is the boss room. And I'm hoping that we get a deal with the devil there. You know, guppy items in particular. A 9 lives pickup would be interesting because we could have the guppy chance go a little bit higher. And also we have Suicide King. So if we ever lost our life and we respawn with 1 HP, we could just say, you know what, let's sacrifice this life and pick up Suicide King as well. Or, you know, pick up the items that Suicide King will give us, and it could be interesting. Thank you, Dark Bum. We're starting to get, you know, a little bit more realistic with our dreams of reaching the HP cap. I like it. I should not be getting close enough to Gurglings. Like, if I have a range advantage, don't get close enough to Gurglings that they can actually hit us. Yeah, just stay far, far away. Alright, that was risky, and I don't think it really worked out. As much as I like Tammy's Head, and I'll go out of my way to use Tammy's Head, I don't think this is the proper time for it. I think we got to be a little bit more conservative, a little bit more focused, on our red hearts here. That's alright. You tried, Dark Bomb, you tried. Carrion Queen is one of the more difficult bosses that you can fight here, but this is, you know, I'm not going to say that it vindicates me completely for picking up Headless Baby, but it does make me feel a little bit better about the Headless Baby pickup, because we can pretty much just cheese the shit out of the AI and get it going back and forth like this. And even when it starts going on a diagonal, we can just lay down like a line of creeps, so it's always going to have to cross it. Just makes it a little bit easier. Not that it's particularly useful, but, well, we got an evil upgrade. At least there's no troll bombs there. You want to look for the secret room? I think it might not be the worst idea. Wouldn't be up there. I want the secret room items, you know? I want Black Lotus. I want Pyro. Well, that was easy. Instead, we got pills. Do we know any of them? None at all. Tears down. That sucks. Pheromones. Not so good. Bombs are key. I like it. And then I'm going to use a bomb here. And we're going to get another pill. This one's explosive diarrhea. Which you could argue as being better than Suicide King. Because if I hit the Q key here accidentally, something that has been known to happen, I could just completely ruin my run by accident. Whereas explosive diarrhea doesn't carry that connotation. But I also like to live dangerously. Bit of a slow run as well. You know, this is how you can tell the boss rush meta is well and truly, if not dead, at least, you know, comatose right now. I have no inclination of speeding through this floor to try to get to boss rush. What's the point? Yeah, AAA battery is going to help us out a lot here when it comes to giving us more spirit hearts, so, or, well, more demon hearts, I guess, in this case. I can't tell what creep is mine and what creep is the enemy. So I'm just going to walk where there is no creep. It seems like probably a pretty good course of action all the time. So a 6 room will reroll your whole run, huh? Let's give it a try. We got Stompy, incredibly low rate of fire, lots of HP, Gemini, Emperor card does beat Suicide King, I guess. How much damage are we doing? It's not terrible. All things considered, I don't think we're doing that much better than we were before. We might even be doing a great deal worse. Maybe? I don't know. It's hard to tell, because, you know, Stompy can be pretty useful, and we do have Gimpy as well. Maybe we're a little bit more defensively focused than we used to be. With the amount of money we have, I'm going to take BOGO bombs, even though I don't think it's particularly good. This might be our last opportunity to buy an item from the shop, and we have had consumable problems. I don't know what our luck stat is. Ooh, I got very lucky that he took a turn before he dropped that off. So we might not even be Samson anymore, so I shouldn't be focusing on the idea of, like, taking damage on the floor to get Bloody Lust working. And truth be told, I've had a lot worse situations with 6 rooms than that, so I can't really feel too bad about this one. We have not been to our item room, so we should not leave, but we can fight our boss. It's going to be the cage. You know what? Do we have the mulligan? No, that was just a leftover fly. Okay, that sucks. Wonder if we have any special bombs. Nope, just regular bombs, it looks like. Yeah, at least the cage can kill his own enemies. I still think we've got a win in us here, and I'm very thankful to have more HP, especially if we do indeed end up getting a deal with the devil right here. I hate that. I hate that attack. I don't really like standing close enough that Gemini can do damage. I seem to get, like, paralyzed when the cage gets close to me. I do kind of miss Headless Baby, if I'm going to be honest with you. But we should, assuming that the 6th room didn't fuck up our deal with the devil chance, we should have a pretty good chance right here. Like 100%. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on there, but we did pick up the pentagram, so I can't be too mad. The real thing that is kind of, I wouldn't say it's neutered us, but it's made us a little bit worse, is the fact that we do have a much lower rate of fire right now. But that's okay. My hope is that, I don't know, maybe do we have PhD or something like that? No, we can't. Well, one of the coups for us could be the ability to actually play blood banks now, although we're already at the HP cap, so, you know, it's not like Gimpy's going to give us something too meaningful. I'm on the fence about how I feel about that 6th room, but, you know, to be honest with you, being on the fence about a dice room is actually, like, a pretty nice position to be in. Stomp on this stuff, just see if we get better cards or something. Okay, so this is actually awesome now. We picked up Penetrative Tears. Piercing Shot's one of the most consistently useful, or consistently most useful items in the game. Counterfeit Penny, a little bit less so. Although, to be honest with you, we don't really have a use for AAA battery, but I'm assuming that we will at some point in the future. Now, we gotta have a deal with the devil on the next floor. I would be amazed if we didn't. It's just been too long. The Sun card. Sun with HP probably beats the Emperor card. They're both really, really good in the late game, though. The Sun is a little bit more, like, universally useful because you can use it as a map as well, but the full HP from it has saved me so many times, not only in Rebirth, but especially, probably more so in Vanilla, so I can't really forsake it. I'm wary about having a super slow run because I know that there's potentially drilling going to be happening on my roof. And if that happens, I don't want to... You know, if we finish quickly, it's less likely to happen. Let's put it that way. But I'm not going to rush it. You know, we got to do our due diligence here. We've seen these pills. Explosive Diarrhea. Well, we haven't seen that one. Hey, that is actually a good pill. I didn't know that any of those existed in our rotation. And I apologize for not being able to use that Suicide King pill, or card, I guess. I would love to be able to use it. Constructively, at least. We just haven't found an opportunity to do so, and we've gotten some better alternatives. That is not good dodging on my part. Does Gimpy, does its chances to pay out vary with your luck stat? Because I've been hit 3 or 4 times because I'm an idiot, and I have not seemed to get any payouts from Gimpy yet. Mind you, I would expect that maybe we'd get some from these skulls, or we could just spawn a host as well. You know, that's its own thing. A live bomb. That's got to be the end of the floor. Well, I mean, like, this room up here has got to be the end of the floor. It didn't actually literally have to be, but, you know, I took a guess and it was right, so that makes me look smarter, and I think that's good, all things considered. Can't do anything with those red hearts. We did not find our secret room, so I will look for our secret room. I'm gonna guess that they wouldn't make me go through that bullshit gauntlet there, and we'll try one here, and we'll try one here, and then we've already tried that one up there, right? So it is probably on the other side. You know what, I'll just look for a second secret room because we're already over here now. And with BOGO bombs, we can probably afford to throw away a few more bombs than you'd otherwise be comfortable with. Maybe? That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. And these are our last 2 opportunities. It does tend to be around this, the boss room. Alright, it cost us like 5 bombs, but we got Pulse Swarm out of it. I mean, here's the thing. Pulse Swarm is not that good. It's okay, just for, like, humor's sake. It's better than AAA Battery because we don't have a spacebar item, but if we ever got a spacebar item, we'd probably rather have AAA Battery. But what can I say? I'm a slave to popular opinion, and my opinion is that Pulse Swarm is kind of popular. So I will roll with that for now. I don't know if Pulse Swarm actually gives you any benefits in terms of like hitbox or damage, but it is what it is. Another double key room. If this is a run reroll, I'll take it. Just because, you know, we didn't really get an enormous coup from the last one. That golden key helps out a lot. No, this time it's just 2 bombs. I'll put a bomb down right there, and maybe that'll make me feel a little bit better about it. So we got 1 bomb and 4 cents, which is actually, like, it's a better than 0 payout, no question about it, but it's also just kind of, you know? Who cares, I guess, is what that's what means. So I would prefer to kill as many of these bonies as possible before I actually go and crush all the skulls, because if they're hosts, then we could just leave. Hierophant. Well, we can just kill that one. Hierophant. Magician. Empress. Sun card a little bit better, or a lot better, depending on your perspective. Chariot. Very good if we find a blood bank, so I will actually, well, why not, right? I will actually keep this card for now. Just on the off chance we do find an arcade. It's not even, that's a misrepresentative. It's not even an off chance that we'll find an arcade. There's a pretty good chance that we'll find an arcade. I don't want to misrepresent it. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You know the type, loud as a motorbike, but wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight? It's probably food fight, right? Not fruit fight, now that I think about it. You know, you can't trust me to quote Jay-Z lyrics. Not because, you know, I don't listen to Jay-Z, just because I don't have a very good memory when it comes to... That's not true. I just don't listen to that much Jay-Z, I guess. I like that song he did about big pimps, though. It was eye-opening. In any case. We will... Oh, I didn't even notice that that was a tinted rock, because I am not the most observant all the time. Actually glad that we spawned a host, because it gives us something to shoot at while we waited for that guy to come back. What do you think the odds are? Place your bets on this arcade situation here. I would very much like one. Not very interested in the IV bag anymore. I think a bomb for a key is a smart trade. That yeah, we can still get it. Okay. There's a bit of a terrible bomb there, and it almost hurt me, but that's okay. Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Rules card. Never mind, that is not at all what I'm looking for. Magic Fingers or Battery. Magic Fingers is okay at times. Shielded Tears plus Piercing Tears is really good. So that's awesome. It does, it gets rid of our sweet triangle, which I dislike, but that's okay. Yeah, now we're doing some real damage, and we've got some nice defense associated with it as well, but there's our boss room, so we'll do a little bit more exploration. The only reason I don't like Magic Fingers right now is because I'm not going to have very much money left over to use Magic Fingers. Oh, you're invisible, huh? But maybe that's not a good reason. Maybe I should just pick it up, because why not? Or I could donate a lot of money to our donation machine, but that's kind of not that relevant either, in terms of, like, my interests. Well, bonies get, like, super hard countered by this. There is a rune there. Hagalaz. Let's just crack it open. I mean, we're going to crack everything open anyway, but might as well use the Hagalaz rune to make it a little easier. Stars. Fool. Chariot. So we're going to stick with the Chariot card for now, but the Sun is definitely what we're going to want in the future. We're at 25 minutes here. Not breaking any land speed records, that's for sure, but I think we're having a nice, solid run. Our speed is actually high enough that I don't mind doing this. I also did not see that there was a Tinted Rock in there. Stuff like Stompy, Thunder Thighs, it really illuminates for me how many Tinted Rocks I actually miss. You know, I know that I'm missing them. The only question is whether or not I'm missing them, you know? Do I really notice? If I'm not noticing that I'm missing them, I'm missing them. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. So we might as well just use our Chariot card, because there's no arcade on this floor. And our pill is a Tears downgrade. Not something I'm super psyched about. Sure, let's take Magic Fingers. We don't use it very often. It might end up coming in handy. And I guess the real draw is that we just have nothing else to do with our money, so why not? Looks like we won't be going to the boss trap room from that side. We might get lucky and be able to go boss trap room from this way. And the Guppy Dream is still alive. You know, our Guppy items don't change. Ah, this could be good, actually. Our Guppy items don't change in those rerolls. So we should still have the opportunity. Are you kidding me? Like, I can't get into that. I can't get in this way? Because it was a boss? That's bullshit. Well, I guess I won't be getting a Guppy item there, then. Sure, there you go. Magic Fingers. I don't want to donate any money to our donation machine here. Because we need the money for Magic Fingers, and our damage is good enough. Do we have a Sun card? No, this is Fool and the Stars. Where's our Sun card? Where the heck is our Sun card? Where did we get the cherry? Was it in here? Oh, it must be this room up here that has the freaking card on the floor. Empress, Magician, Sun. There we go. Yeah, our damage is decent, so Magic Fingers is going to be decent, but we don't have very much money, so we'll save this for rooms that are particularly annoying. Like, I'm not going to spam Mom to death with this or anything like that. And we really, really would like to get a deal with the devil here. You know, I complain a lot about my lot in life when it comes to Isaac runs sometimes. However, I think for once I actually have a pretty good case to say that we've been very unlucky when it comes to deals with the devil. I haven't taken red heart damage like since the first floor, and yet I've only gotten one deal with the devil, and it had Headless Baby and Necronomicon on it. So, like, we're a little bit not doing so hot in that regard. Now, we do have some better deal with the devil items now, as a result of the fact that we got Gimpy on that, like, all-run reroll. But still, you know, where's our choice in the matter? Where's our Guppy Dreams? We did also get Guppy's Tail for free, but, you know, you can't say that that's good luck this late in the game. A free Guppy's Tail is nice, but it doesn't make that big of a difference this late. We did get a deal with the devil, so we're taking the Polaroid just because I'm concerned about this run. And we can take a free ability to fly. I feel a lot better about things now. Thank you very much. That's all it took. As we will head down to the next floor, I hear pipes on the roof, so we've got a very thin window of time here with which to finish this run before we get brrrr. Anyway. I'm extremely happy. Oh, yeah, that was just terrible damage. I killed the poop that I was hovering over. It was not a smart idea. But yeah, we have a great run here from a defensive standpoint. Whenever an enemy... Oh, yeah, I like it enough. Even though it's going to compromise our ability to use Magic Fingers, I'd rather just have some kind of raw stats upgrade or a shop item, whatever he's going to give me. The keys will come in handy. We are intending on going to the shop. But we have a good defensive position on this run because we can just hang out over top of rocks. We'll have to be a little creative about it because we crushed the rocks, but if there's like an ability for us to create a path or something that we can hang out behind, then we have Spectral Tears now that are also penetrative, that are also shielded. So it makes it very, very difficult for us to take damage on rooms where we can take advantage of like some cover. Even these guys are not so bad anymore. I will sacrifice a Spirit Heart. We'll see if I'll sacrifice a Spirit Heart. We might be able to bomb our way in. We will not be able to bomb our way in. So I will sacrifice a Spirit Heart to check out this curse room. Ah, I like it. And immediately after, I don't like it as much. Range up's okay. Speed up is good. I don't think it's worth taking either of these. I thought about it. Okay. Maybe spread out some of those red chests for, like, earlier floors. So that's going to be our last deal with the devil. At least until the cathedral, if we get super lucky. Get a Joker card randomly on the ground. We got lucky, by the way, to find the boss room right away, so I'm excited about that. We did lose, I mean, this is coming a little late in the game here. Not only did we lose Satanic Bible and our Rate of Fire, oh, that was incredibly dumb. But we also lost Dark Bum, which would have given us a huge advantage in terms of our survivability. But, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles when it comes to those full-run rerolls sometimes. And that's the way that you get these silly combinations that come out of nowhere. And I kind of like the detective process of like, I don't know. Oh, the eye pushed him back. That's such horseshit. What do you got for me? Super bandage. It's a great item. We'll crush all this. I don't need to even look to see if it's a tinted rock. All we gotta do is make it down to the chest, and then hopefully we'll get carried. But anyway, if we're not carried already. Oop, a little scary. That's okay. What was I getting at earlier? Oh, I like the detective game, by the way, of re-rolling your whole run and then being like, okay, what do we actually have here? We've got some good stuff. I really can't complain about piercing spectral shielded tears. Like, those are extremely beneficial. Gemini, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I dislike it, or I don't like it as much. I guess I never dislike it. Pretty fly pickup is nice. I wouldn't necessarily say huge, but it's nice. One of the things I think you gotta learn, and it's a hard habit for me to learn. If you got shielded tears, you're fighting an enemy like Bloat, I think it makes more sense to just kind of hang in there and shoot when he comes at you. As opposed to, you know, normally you just get out of the way. But if we can break his actual shots, why not? That was a much better fight than the one that we had earlier. We got 21 bombs. Why don't we throw one down here, see if we can go into our boss trap room, and it looks like we will be able to. Now, it's not going to be an easy fight, so we'll make sure that we've got something worth doing here. I'll give it a try. 2 spirit hearts is what I would consider to be maybe like the bare minimum for making this fight worthwhile. Luckily, you know, it's Fistula, Loki, Chub, I think, so it's not like we're fighting the best of the best, you know. We're at the, not the bottom of the barrel, but we're pretty low here. Especially considering, like, all of those enemies, we really benefit from having piercing shots. Maybe not shielded shots so much, but piercing shots in particular. Good against Loki, really good against Fistula, really, really good against Chub. So this is why they're good against Loki, by the way, is that they can hit the bomb even if Loki is actually giving them like a little bit of a body shield. Well, it's looking like this will probably end up being a good investment of our time. I'm kind of amazed, though, that with all these red chests, we have not picked up a second Guppy item. Maybe there was a patch and the Guppy incidence has been nerfed. It would not necessarily be the worst change to the game. Not saying it would. I'm not saying it should happen. Don't blame me if something happens. I'm just saying, you know, I'm happy to become Guppy every single day for the rest of my life. 2 of diamonds. It's actually a pretty good pickup for us. Oh no, I used 2 of diamonds before I picked up that penny. All is lost. No, but the 2 of diamonds pickup is actually pretty good, especially on a room like this, you know? Bombs are key. Yeah, we'll do that. Especially because we have Guppy's tail still. I think, anyway. Gotta be careful about some of that stuff. The extra money that we have will make it a lot easier to kind of augment our existing damage with a little bit of Magic Fingers goodness. It can be a really good item. Like, basically, anytime there's an enemy that I don't want to fight, I really should just use Magic Fingers right off the bat. We got... Oh, that's pretty good. We got another double key room. My hope is that we don't need to use any keys. We can just use 2 bombs instead. Let's not talk about the fact that I crushed that rock. This one could be good. Yeah, you know, we got a Spirit Heart out of it. That's fine. Got a little bit more than a Spirit Heart, but the big thing was the Spirit Heart, I guess. I'm going to try to save most of the Magic Fingers usage for when we get a little bit later into the game, because, you know, the enemies that we face later are going to be... I was going to say the enemies that we face later, but the enemies that we face later are going to be a little bit more meaningful. A little bit more meaningfully difficult, I guess. Range up. Why not? But with 51 cents, we have a pretty nice, like, buffer zone here. So we're not going to be able to bomb our way in from that side because the secret room just can't be there. Are we going to be able to bomb our way in from this side? I doubt it, but 1 Spirit Heart to go to our shop, or sorry, to go to our curse room is a pretty okay trade. Got lucky, didn't have to use a bomb there. So we basically traded a Spirit Heart away for 4 cents. That's not quite as good. But maybe those 4 cents will save us more than 4 cents as a result of Magic Fingers. I very much doubt it, though. Still, I'm happy with the way this run is going. I think we've done pretty well HP-wise on this floor. So I think, like, yeah, basically for 1 cent, we got to kill all of those turrets, which are extremely annoying. Now, my hope is that we're dealing enough damage so that I can take out Mom's Heart relatively easily. We're not going to have to deal with many of the bullets as a result of our shielded tiers. I'm throwing some bombs in there just to hopefully speed it up, even though that one missed. It's alright, Ruka. How's it going, buddy? Still at 51 cents, which is really good. I'd like to, yeah, get a couple of the fistula parts broken and then just finish the job like that. 4 cents to not have to worry about fistula, I think, is way worth it when we have as much money as we do. I should probably just get close enough that Gemini can actually do something. Little scary. Not so bad, though. Alright. We gotta deal with the devil. Remember, we can't do anything with that. So with this sun card, we still have, like, basically a full health pill. The later we can use that, especially if we can use that on the chest, the better it is for us. But I have to admit, I'm feeling pretty okay about the way that this run has gone recently. I was a little bit worried after that. I'm not sure if I let it show, but after that full run reroll, I was a little concerned about the way things were going. But I think we've done a pretty good job of pulling it back here if it was ever lost. Daddy Longlegs holding up surprisingly well against the onslaught here. If I could make like a wish list for what I want to get on the chest, it would definitely be higher rate of fire. I mean, more damage of any kind would be great. Higher rate of fire just seems like the easiest. Maybe. Sure, let's do it. We got 1 spirit heart out of it. And a number of bombs and a little bit of money. So, I mean, there's a little bit going on in all kind of categories there that's okay. The money actually is useful for us, so I can't complain too hard, but I don't know what I was even hoping for, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. What could I have gotten in those golden chests that would be better? I guess, like, if I got Infamy out of one of them, I'd be pretty stoked. We already got Fate out of one of the golden chests on the last floor, so it's not like I can really complain about how golden chests have worked out for me so far on this run. And we even got a Spirit Heart out of this one, so it's turned out pretty nicely. Anytime you can actually gain HP, the later you get into the game, you're probably set up in a pretty good position to win overall. We even picked up another key. Unlikely to be too useful. We've got a decent amount, but I have a hard time conceptualizing that as a bad thing. Yeah, that was terrible damage on my part. It's alright. Money's holding up, but it can go pretty quickly, you know, if you... Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, that is just straight up awesome for us. We got a spare Spirit Heart there. You know, we went from like 51 cents to 44 cents on one room, so you really have to, you know, commit to the rooms that you want to spend the money on. That was not a room where I wanted to spend the money on, but maybe I should have. I guess we'll go up, and then that was a terrible choice. Now, the Super Greed fight should be one of the easier ones with piercing shielded tiers. Even if you have some short... Oh, that was a great shot. Even if you have some shortcomings in damage, you can usually... You know, let's put it this way. Piercing shielded tiers really pull down the threshold of, you know, what you need to win. The quarter pickup is actually not bad at all. The extra money will be extremely nice when it comes to this... Magic Fingers action, which I've been doing here. Appreciate the extra Spirit Heart that paid for us to come in here, even though we did take damage on the way out. We're up to 78 cents, continuing to gain money, which is nice. That must be a library. Honestly, there's not that many books that I would consider, and Anarchist Cookbook is definitely not one of them. Empress, Devil. I mean, there is a good case to be made for taking the Devil specifically into the boss fight, then coming back for the Sun card. I'm lazy, though. I hate backtracking. If I had starter deck, I'd be stoked. I do not have starter deck, though, so my level of stokedness is relatively low. And truth be told, I'm not totally sure we're even going to need it. Bob's Rotten Head is not very good. Double Monstro Room, not that bad either. Just took a quick cursory glance to see if there might be any tinted rocks in our vicinity. I don't see any. One of these guys has got to be nearly dead soon, right? I mean, this is an indication of how bad our actual damage is, but we can kind of compromise, not compromise, but compensate for it if we can hit 2 enemies at once. Basically, it's doubling our DPS, doubling the rate at which we'll finish the room. Let's blow up that pot. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, actually. surprisingly long floor here. Cursed Skull is absolutely not worth it. I am glad I made the decision to go with Pulse Worm, aka Dubstep Worm. Gotta be careful about this because the bombs that he shoots will explode whenever they touch my tiers, which, if that's close to me, will result in damage to myself. So, just gotta be a little careful. A little bit more money is nice. This has gotta be coming to the end of this floor. And with 77 cents, we can start to throw out some extra Magic Fingers action here, I think. When it's prudent. Anyway, this is gonna be hopefully a pretty easy boss fight against Isaac. I think our strategy against Isaac should actually be to get kind of close so that our tiers can crush his tiers easily. Although when he does that move, we're going to want to be far, far away. Yeah, maybe being far away is actually good for us here. Throw in the occasional bomb here just to help out. Has Gimpy paid out with like a single spirit heart over the course of this entire run? I'm skeptical. I'm not that mad about it because we've still been doing okay. I'm just saying, you know, Gimpy, it's not doing what it says on the tin. Maybe our luck stat is terrible, or maybe it's just random chance fucking us a little bit. Alright. So he doesn't do any, like, swirly bird attacks. That's, again, an indication of how bad our damage is, that he actually manages to do a second wave of attacks before doing the light beams, which is, like, the earliest indication, or the most obvious indication, I should say, that we're not blowing the doors off from a damage-dealing perspective here. Could be spamming the shit out of Magic Fingers, but, you know, the fight is going just fine. All we need to do is make sure that we actually live long enough to give ourselves the chance to get carried on the chest, which is totally gonna happen right here. Man, I can't believe that he lived through that. I guess another strategy we could use, and it's giving us a not insignificant amount of damage, is actually just let Gemini do its thing. Down to the next floor. This has been a long one. This is a big one. Curse of Darkness. That's better than, like, Curse of the Blind. Okay, Rubber Cement is pretty good. Lemon Mishap. Mr. Mega. Radioactive Spider. Yeah, okay. Rubber Cement, Penetrative Tears. Shielded Tears. Spectral Tears. It seems pretty good. Our rate of fire sucks. Spider Bite is great. To get Spider Bite feels pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it's just that, like, our shots don't feel like they're bouncing that much, but I think it's just because there's not very many on the screen at any given moment. Now, some people might actually think that Lemon Mishap is better than Magic Fingers in this situation. Those people might honestly be right. I will use a bomb to slow that one down, at least. Yeah, like, those people might have a really good case, actually. Oh, what the heck? My sound just stopped, and my keyboard stopped. One sec here. There we go. I fixed it. You probably still had sound. I didn't. That was kind of important. We might as well. I don't really care about Monkey's Paw, but we will take. We'll take the extra HP, even though it's not necessary because it fucks up our half-heart interval. You know, this is like an unlikely room for Magic Fingers to actually be super worthwhile. We'll spam a ton of the bullets or a ton of the money out here. Might cost us 20 cents, but if we can kill, yeah, a couple of the Mega Fatties and make our life a lot easier, I think that's a very smart decision rather than losing Spirit Hearts. You know, you can't take the money with you when you go. I think this run has actually, it's been weird because we got Rubber Cement and we did a full run reroll, and yet still this feels like, well, what a quiet, like, nice little pastoral run we've had here. But it's been not that wild, but very fun. Like, there's been a lot of opportunity for thought and, like, diversion. Like, if you're playing the same seed, you could be having a totally different run right now, depending on, you know, the items that you took, whether or not you got deals with the devil, which I can't believe that I didn't get more, as well as the obvious kind of, like, fork in the road, which would be the full run reroll. There could be, like, 100 different kinds of configurations going on right now, which I find pretty cool. And, like, all of those might have a conceivable win associated with them. Like, this one should be a win. At least that's my hope. And certainly, like, that Samson run, considering we had Satanic Bible and Dark Bum, I was feeling like a win was probably in the cards there. If we, you know, we were probably due for a deal with the devil coming soon. I thought it was If not a... Oh, God. I can't believe I didn't get hit there. If not a foregone conclusion, I thought that it was at least likely. This is not worth using pheromones on. That was terrible. Normally, I don't care about min-maxing like a pheromones pill, but might as well. Just to give ourselves a good chance. I mean, this is probably not worth using pheromones on either, honestly, but it is what it is. Still got 47 cents left. Just wanted to, you know, neuter one a little bit. I actually think, like, rubber cement piercing shots might be bad. I find it hard to tell. I shouldn't be saying that. I love rubber cement and I love piercing tears. The one thing that gives us the huge edge over the competition here is the fact that we've been holding this sun card for like 4 floors. So pretty much, as long as we can make it to the boss with this sun card intact, like, we have almost no risk, I'd say. Probably a little bit more money than I'd hoped to spend there, but, you know, my goal is just to get to the boss. We're probably not going to use Magic Fingers that much against Blue Baby, but if Blue Baby shows up early and we have 20 cents left, well, that's 20 free ticks of damage from Magic Fingers, so I won't be too sad about it. But we also have this full health, which helps out a lot. And our damage is, like, adequate. I hope we don't have, like, Polyphemus or something, and I've been like, man, our damage sucks. Our rate of fire is so bad. I mean, we do have huge tiers. I don't know what's causing that. We might have Cricket's Head, admittedly, but I don't think we have much beyond Cricket's Head. Like, our DPS on that Samson run, I think, was a little bit better. Cricket's Head or no Cricket's Head. Mind you, we were in a fairly unique situation where we had a damage upgrade from every single boss that we'd had up until that point, which is kind of ridiculous as well. Please tell me we're going the right way here. This is going to end up being like a 55-minute long video. Oh, jeez. 55-minute long video, which is not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. Careful. Careful. Like a Mr. or Bob's Curse. Can we even get that here? We've already got Mr. Mega. Well, just picking up bombs is fine too. Not gonna bother looking for a secret room. We gotta be getting close to it because there's only one more direction for us to go here. Dark Bum would have been rolling in hearts right now. Oh yeah, this is like the easiest opportunity to use this. I'll play it till we get down to 30 cents. This one's got to be nearly dead. Whoa, that was a bit of a foolish decision on my part. I can't believe that that one lived long enough to eventually hit me. Yeah, it was like a shot and a half away from death. Whatever. It's fine. More bombs. Considering we have Mr. Mega, that actually might come in handy. Don't ever get close to me again. You know what's weird about rubber cement shielded tiers in this situation is that our shots are bouncing off of enemy tiers. Ah, Halo of Flies is pretty good. Our shots are bouncing off of enemy tiers. Oh yeah, this is like, get the hell out of my house, please. So, like, if Greed shoots at us, our shots bounce off of Greed's shots, and that actually does prevent them from reaching their intended target, which is unfortunate. Do we have Mr. Mega, or am I losing my mind? Oh yeah, those are definitely bigger bombs. So I took a little damage here, but it's not that bad. Ever since I talked about having 20 cents left over on Blue Baby, it's become a pretty attractive option for me. I'm actually hoping to maintain a little bit of a bomb supply here. Man, this adversary is proving to be kind of annoying, actually. More bombs. I appreciate it. I did use more than I'd like to admit there. Yeah, that was terrible damage. We actually lost money, even though it looks like we gained it. I don't really care who I kill last here. I could deal with bombs. I could deal with more money. And I could make good use of some more HP as well, in all likelihood. I would like it if maybe one of them would die, though, you know, over the course of the whole thing. We could get to a half-heart interval. It's not likely to matter. Finally! We are ready to fight the boss. And we're going to have full red hearts unless, you know, Daddy Longlegs hits us an unprecedented amount of times, which I find unlikely, but theoretically possible. Thank God for that extra key. I don't know what I'd do without it. We actually did get to a half heart. So we should have no problems beating Blue Baby. But I, at the same time, am conscious of the fact that, you know, shoulda doesn't mean will, always. Rubber cement shielded tiers is actually, like, goddamn terrible. The enemies that shoot directly at us, like, our bullets bounce off of their bullets and as a result don't make it to their intended target. I don't like it. Maybe it's piercing shots that's making that synergy worse. Alright, let's spam the shit out of Magic Fingers now. You know, it's not really the ultimate fuck you to the late game bosses. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's okay. As you can see, we won anyway. Use the Sun card to finish the job just for style points. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the run. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks as always for your support, and I'll see you next time.